The following video is rated S for spoilers. I spoil Man of Steel, Injustice, some of Justice League. I think that's it. But yeah, there's a lot of spoilers in here. Oh, it's also rated N for naughty language. So don't fucking listen to this at work without headphones on. Don't listen to it in front of your fucking kids, or else you're kind of a horrible parent. And if they take your children away, it's not my fucking fault. Superman, the world's most famous and recognizable superhero. He's a protector. He's a savior. He's a murdering psychopath. And also a destroyer of worlds. Wait, those last two things aren't right. Although Zack Snyder probably would make you think that's right. My name is Tony. Usually I'm playing video games on my channel. Poorly. Although, I'm also a huge comic book nerd. It's true. I read a whole lot of comics. A whole lot of fucking comics. Today I want to do something different. I want to talk to you about something that's been bothering me for a while. How this man here fucked up Superman. And it's a shame he's fucked up Superman, because this is the guy we're gonna have to put up with for the foreseeable when it comes to all things Superman. First, some things about this video. I own none of the clips in this video. I own none of the music. I own none of the stuff that happens in this video. The only thing that I own is two things: my voice and my face. And, well, I mean, technically, would my mother and father own that, since they kind of made that? Is there copyright laws in that? I should probably look that up. I'm not a super fan of Superman. See what I did there? And I'm not making this video because his movie portrayal offended me to the point where it sparked my nerd rage and, well, okay, I guess maybe a little. But the thing is, I find Superman, like a lot of people, I kind of find him boring. Just because he's such a Boy Scout and he's got like all the powers in the world. That doesn't mean I can't get fucking upset. Also, I'm fine with character changes to fit a story or modernize a character, because we can't have 1960s Superman today. It just won't work. When it comes to changing characters, as long as the core parts are there, I'm cool with it. I mean, could you imagine if you took somebody like, say, oh, I don't know, Deadpool, and then sewed his mouth shut and gave him a bunch of powers that he didn't have, and right, the whole Wolverine Origins thing. Look at the face of Hugh Jackman right here. Do you think he realizes how badly they fucked this up and how bad this movie was going to be at the time this was shot? Perfect. Anyway, all of this is opinion. I'm not stating any of this is fact. However wrong you might feel I am, it's still my opinion. Opinion. Before diving into the awfulness that is the modern movie Superman, let's talk about what makes Superman Superman. When you ask anyone on the street who's the best Superman of all time, a lot of people will default to Christopher Reeve, and for good reason. That's probably the best Superman they've had on screen. I mean, there's been other Superman. I myself would say the animated Superman that was done by Paul Dini, voiced by Tim Daly. Some other people would say that too, but that's my perfect Superman. That's the Superman for me. We can all agree on one thing though, and that's not Brandon Routh, or however you pronounce his last name. Holy shit. Did Superman Return suck balls or what? I mean, like big meaty ball clackers covered in hair. That movie was awful. But what does Tim Daly's Superman and Christopher Reeve's Superman, what do they both have in common? They're both portrayed as the ultimate hero. Someone that everyone looks up to. Someone that inspires hope and sort of represents the best that a human being could be. Well, a human being who's not a human being but was raised as a human being. I mean, it's even in their theme music. Just listen. Look how heroic that shit sounds with the trumpets and everything. It just makes you want to go out and run into a burning building and save a couple people. But not me. I would probably die horribly. I'm not going to do that. If you want to run into burning buildings, you go ahead and you have a ball. Superman, despite being an alien from another world with the powers of a god, is remarkably human, which is credited due to his all-American upbringing in Smallville, Kansas, to seemingly perfect parents. And it's that upbringing that makes him value not just human life, but all life above all else. It fuels him as a hero. I mean, this dude has gone so far as to make his own wildlife refuge for rare and almost extinct species in his house at the North Pole. Look, this motherfucker saved the dodo. The dodo, y'all! Do you know why one of the many reasons why Lex Luthor hates? What the fuck are you doing here? No, get out of here, Jesse Eisenberg. You're not Lex Luthor. You take your ass back to Facebook or something. Can somebody get me a real Lex Luthor, please? Thank you. Damn it. That's better. As I was saying, you know why one of the reasons Lex Luthor hates Superman? It's despite that he's an alien and not from this world, that people revere him and love him and look up to him so much. Like, whenever there's a problem, they always run to Superman. And Lex Luthor, he wants that.
Next to Superman, even Lex Luthor's greatness is overshadowed.
He wants that to be depended on like that. And the fact that this thing from another planet just drives him insane.
Here's a challenge. All the things you said you would have done to benefit humanity if I hadn't been in your way, now's the time to prove it. Lex, I know there's good in you.
Hell, even when other heroes are at their darkest hour and pretty much have no answer for whatever crisis is threatening him, they always think about, well, hey, I mean, let's get Superman in on this. Even Superman's best friend Batman does that. And Batman hates, well, despite having a child ninja factory outside of his cave, Batman hates asking people for help. But he won't hesitate to ask Superman for help. As a matter of fact, that is what also makes their purely platonic friendship so good. Some people would say that Batman and Joker are two sides of the same coin, but I would argue that Batman and Superman are two sides of the same coin. With Batman being this brutal ninja that preys on people's fear and is brutal and all business and straight to the point, and Superman tends to be the more kinder and, for the lack of a better word, sunnier of the two. I mean, Superman will punch you in the face, but he'll at least give you a chance before he does it. Batman's just gonna punch you in the face, then probably break a couple of your ribs, and then leave you there in cuffs in a hospital bill. Hell, I mean, it's even reflected in the two of them cities, with Gotham City's, seemingly covered by eternal night and riddled with crime to the point where people don't live in Gotham City. They just kind of survive there. Meanwhile, Metropolis is bright and sunny, and despite the constant supervillain attacks, people seem to enjoy living there. Probably because they know when shit gets real, all they do is just look up in the sky and here comes Superman ready to save the day and set shit all right. But you know what? We'll talk more about Batman and Superman later. Right now, we're just going to focus on the Man of Steel. All these things, well, to me at least, define Superman. It's not his immense power, it's not that he has all the powers, it's his strength of character.
Confused, Kent. See, I've lived in Metropolis most of my life, and I can't figure out how some yokel from Smallville is suddenly getting every hot story in town.
Well, Lois, the truth is, I'm actually Superman in disguise, and I only pretend to be a journalist in order to hear about disasters as they happen and then squeeze you out of the byline.
You're a sick man, Kent.
He's kind of like a throwback to the good old, days of innocence that we don't have anymore. However, I don't want to get it twisted. That's not to say I'm opposed to any portrayal of Superman that's not exactly like the ones that was done by Christopher Reeve or even done in the animated series. I don't mind adjusting, Superman to fit to modern standards. I don't mind Superman, the rougher, tougher, new 52 Superman that's currently in comics, the one who handled his business, and is not, smiling and grinning and all that and got perfect pearly white teeth. I don't mind the dude in t-shirt and jeans and with his hands bloody and he's kind of, take no prisoners attitude. That's probably what Superman would be like these days if he was just invented. Even when Superman's the polar opposite of himself, I can dig it. I mean, it can be really compelling to see Superman outside of his usual self. Such as the Superman in the Injustice comic in the video game series, where essentially Superman becomes a tyrant and takes over the world after the Joker tricks him into killing Lois Lane, his unborn child. And then he kills the Joker. I mean, look at that. You don't come back from that. That motherfucker is dead. Or even similar to Injustice Superman is Justice Lord Superman, who's kind of just like him, but kind of more restrained. And how he came about is he got tired of Lex Luthor's shit after he killed the Flash, and he killed him. And he decided he liked it And then he decided, you know, to just take over and establish law to the harshest penalty he can. I mean, he lobotomizes most of the supervillains on Earth. And even in these versions of Superman, however misguided they are, believe they're doing what's best for humanity. Both Injustice and Justice League Superman still wants what's best for humanity. They're just going about different means to get it done. They see that nothing's going to improve unless they change their ways. At their core, they're still trying to be, you know, a good guy, even though they really fucked that up. Some of the best times I've enjoyed Superman the most is when he stops being a Boy Scout and decides to just let it all go. For those of you who don't know, Superman never really fights at full strength because he knows that he could, you know, really do some damage. Let's look again at Injustice Superman. Towards the end of Injustice, spoilers by the way, they summon a good version of Superman to take out the Tyrant Superman. And one of the first fights that the good version of Superman, I hope you're not confused, gets into is against an evil Aquaman. And Aquaman says some shit like this.
What makes you think you'll win?
And then Superman replies with this shit.
I'm Superman.
How gangsta is that? How much of a fucking G do you have to be to name drop yourself as the reason you're about to knock someone the fuck out? I'm Superman?
I'm Superman.
I'm Superman?
I'm Superman.
God damn, that's awesome! Or, by far my most favorite Superman related thing ever, was when, in the series finale of Justice League Unlimited, Superman is fighting Darkseid. And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to let you sit back and watch it.
That man won't quit as long as he can still draw a breath. None of my teammates will. Me? I've got a different problem. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone. Never allowing myself to lose control, even for a moment, or someone could die. But you can take it, can't you, big man? What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am.
Damn, Clark, you wouldn't have to embarrass dude like that in front of his friends and family. Damn, son, you ain't have to do that to Darkseid. But hold on a sec. Go back and watch that little speech that Superman makes right before he beats the shit out of Darkseid, and listen very closely.
Me? I've got a different problem. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard. Always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone.
You catch that? Did you hear that? Or was it just me? Roll it again, one more time.
I live in a world made of cardboard. Always taking constant care not to break something. To break someone.
See? Like I said, Superman intentionally almost never lets loose because he's super afraid, you see what I did there, of what damage he could cause. He never goes full Superman because he doesn't want anybody else to get hurt. Whenever he gets into a fight in Metropolis, he tries to move it to a less populated area or to an abandoned area altogether. So if he does have to get a little antsy, you know, if he does have to go full power, nobody else around him gets hurt. It's a fundamental part of who he is. It all goes back to that him valuing life over everything else. He doesn't want anybody getting hurt as a result of his actions unless the person deserves it. And even then, he's even hesitant to do a little bit of that. And it's that reason, and the reasons I listed earlier, why this motherfucker here is not Superman. This is just some asshole in a suit with an S slapped on his chest, pretending that, oh my god, I'm Superman. But you know what? This has gone on long enough. We're going to talk about what exactly is wrong with Zack Snyder's Superman in another video. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about how I thought that he almost had it. And then he went and fucked that all up. For now, I'm out. If you have your own opinions on this, I would love to hear it. I would welcome your opinion on this. Whether you think I'm wrong, whether you think that the movie Superman is just fine the way that he is, or if I'm an idiot. You know, I want to hear it all. I want to hear it. I want to hear some feedback. So, you know, and also if you're interested in more of this stuff or some other stuff on my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do it. Until next time, I'm out. Two Finger Splitter.